Good afternoon, everybody. So here's a bit of an update on where we are at the moment. So we've had a bit of illness, I think, in the loft. I've got two birds isolated, one in this crate and another one in that crate, because I don't have a spare loft at the moment. So this is one of the youngest ones, and this one I think vomited in the loft, and there was corn on its V-perch when I opened up for darkness one morning. And yeah, so I've kept it isolated. They're all on medication now, on antibiotics, because obviously we can't put them on antivirals, so just trying to keep on top of anything else that comes. Bit of a runny drop in there. This is all new newspaper that I put in last night, so I wanted to see whether the medication had helped. And no green droppings, but this one has knocked over his water, so I need to clean that out. But there's some, you can just about make out a little bit of green, but not as bad as it was before. Yeah, you need to, I'll change you out. So this one's the one that's been looking not great. There's droppings on the crate now because I've been feeding them inside the crate to try and get them used to it. But this one's the one that's been looking a little bit docile, probably for about a week. So it has been isolated already, but I thought it was losing a bit of weight. It doesn't seem to be deteriorating any, but it's certainly not looking great like some of the others. So all of these in the loft have also been on medication, so they're all on it at the moment. I've removed, a couple of people have suggested that I get rid of the deep litter, so I'm going to give that a try. I'm not sure how long I'll keep it up, but we'll give it a we've given it a whirl. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags that are cleared out. Advantages of it are you can see the droppings more clearly. And so I've scraped up here about 2 hours ago, and I've put Virkon S on all the perches, disinfected it with antiviral disinfectant. But you can see what happened basically was I found the corn, and then I opened up off darkness, and I could see them all pecking in that corner just over there. And so once I saw that, I covered it over and tried to isolate the birds that looked a little bit sick, but I just couldn't keep 3 or 4 of them in here and then cram the rest in there. So I took one that I thought was that had vomited the corn. That's the first one we've just seen, excuse me, and then the second one, the one that's been looking a bit lethargic, which I think is producing the green droppings. That's in the other crate. So we did that, and then put them on antibiotics and stopped them feeding. I took the feed off them because in case they were holding corn. I left them like that for 24 hours, came back in, and they didn't look like any of them were holding corn. So, but there were green droppings everywhere. So I spoke to Charlie, and he said, well, that happens if you take the food off them, then you will notice that the droppings turn more green. So I've given them a half feed yesterday and another half feed again today. And the only issue that we've got now, no real green droppings anywhere. The issue we've got now is more watery. So there's a couple of watery droppings. Now that could be because it was 32 degrees in here yesterday. Sorry, not in the loft, but it was 32 degrees, you know, in our part of the country. We're quite lucky because we're under some trees, so the loft is relatively shady, so it doesn't get too hot. There's loads of ventilation, and you know, a lot of the birds are looking pretty good. We've still got some that are in the molt, but I've now taken them off darkness, because I've started reducing the darkness by 1 hour a day. But I thought the extra stress of darkness plus that's white tip looking pretty good compared to the fact that she's had 2 lots of hawk attacks. But yeah, so we've got this. This is one of the watery droppings. Most of them are looking like this again now, which I think is quite good. But there are a couple of watery droppings, and it might be that one over there, but it's hard to know because they've all been out for a fly. I let them out earlier on just to, because I opened the door and they looked like they were going to eat me. They were all at my feet, and so I gave them a bit of feed, and then a bit later on I let them out, and they went for a fly for about 10-15 minutes. I called them straight back in. They all came flying in, and all of them ate. So none of them were sitting out, none of them were sat on the perches. And basically what I'm doing is, you know, I have whatever issues you have, and this is what anybody that's starting out in pigeon racing is going to find is you just have to talk to people, but you'll get different opinions from everybody. So And everybody's got, that talks to you, probably got 20, 30, 40, 50 years experience. So you just kind of have to listen to everyone and then decide which things you want to do. And so that's just how I'm rolling with it, really. I'll do whatever works, what's convenient, and what I think might help the birds best. So we haven't lost any, none of them are dead yet from this illness. It could just be the heat wave. It could be the heat wave and darkness, and all of that combined. So I'm hoping that what I've done now is enough. They've got another couple of days on the medication, and low. They're on depurative, so it's not too rich of food for them. So I'll keep them on that for a few more days, and then we'll start seeing about training, because I really want to get them training. Look, they're just. They don't know what time of day it is, because they've gone from having a little bit of daylight to all this daylight. But we've got some cockbirds. Look at him, look, doing a lot of showing off. So yeah, I'm really quite looking forward to getting them training, but it's I want them to be right. I don't want to send them out training while they're not fit. So yeah, if anyone knows what the watery dropping's about, I have actually got a book, so I might have a look and see what that says. Just a bit of water, and then there's a bit in that corner over there. They've been on half feed for the last couple of days, and then today they've had a bit more, so I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so there we are. They're not using this side at all, are they? So I've got plenty of ventilation from the front there, at the back, and all at the sides we've got vents that go around the side, and it kind of looks over, so it keeps it dark when I put the darkness on, but you can just see in that top one there. So there's plenty of ventilation in here, and now I've got rid of that deep litter for now, then that should help improve it as well. So yeah, they're all none are dead. The droppings are looking better, but they have been green, and they're now a bit watery. They're on medication, they're on depurative. That's pretty much all I can do at the moment. I could get them sent off, but I haven't had any fatalities yet. I half think it's the weather and darkness combined. I think the heat and the stress. I think that's, and also having young birds that are in the molt. It's I suspect it's that, but hopefully that's the case anyway. So there we go. Hopefully the next video will be my first training toss. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'll catch you later. Don't forget, if you haven't done already, please like, subscribe, click the little bell so you get notifications for the next video. Cheers, guys.